Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder of Landscape Marketing Hero, and today we're going to talk about how you can double your close rate at your sales appointments, which will obviously help you increase revenue, grow your business, and achieve the goals you have. So stay tuned, and I'll break this down for you. I'm Gabe Arnold, and this is the Green Mountain Podcast. We are the champions who brave the elements to create beauty. We see chaos and create order. We are never afraid of hard work, and we understand the power of strategic thinking and intentional actions. We come from all walks of life, and we will never allow our past to determine our future potential. We create beauty around the homes of our customers and increase the value of our community with the work that we do every day. We understand the power of consistent branding because it helps us grow and serve all those around us. We practice effective sales so our company, employees, and community can benefit from the value we add. We intentionally invest in operational habits that help us deliver excellent results to our customers on a continual basis. We understand that powerful and beautiful things take time to grow, and with consistent watering and intention, amazing results can happen. We are committed to making the world a better place by being positive examples to all those around us. We don't allow anyone to look down on us because we know the value we bring to our community as leaders. We create positive workplaces for our employees so they feel safe and supported, and at the same time, we hold ourselves to high standards. We pursue excellence on a daily basis because we know the journey is worth the sacrifice. We are the protectors of the land. We are the guardians of beauty. We are the heroes. We are landscapers. Sales is definitely one of the best parts about being in business, and it's also can be one of the most challenging parts in business. And over the years, I've realized that there's a few key components that if you build into your sales process, everything becomes a lot easier. And so we're going to talk through those today. And as a reminder, if you need any help with increasing your close rate, with attracting your ideal customers, with having those perfect employees, those ideal outstanding employees that will work hard for you and deliver amazing results, you can reach out to us at landscapemarketinghero.com. We're here to serve and help you be successful. And so don't ever hesitate to reach out there or comment down below or message me. I would love to talk to you and see how we can best serve you. And so when I look at really how to double your close rate, if you track simply right now, and if you're not tracking this, it's okay. This is a good time to start. But if you track your results, what you want to start tracking is for every 10 sales appointments you go on, when you meet a new prospective customer, how many of those end up signing with you and end up doing business with you? So again, simple math. If we just track, the last 10 appointments, what was the results? If you said, great, I signed 2 of those people to be customers, then you're at a 20% close rate. And 20% is arbitrarily kind of a starting point. It really depends on what you're selling, your process, and everything else. But having a good baseline to understand what your actual sales stats are right now is important because that's what's going to allow you to increase that over time. And what we're going to talk through today are some of the steps that I've taken with our clients, that I apply myself, and the things that over the years I've learned will dramatically increase your close rate. And in almost all cases, when I've helped clients do this, they double their close rate. So again, if you look back at your last 10 sales appointments and you close 2 out of those 10, you're at a 20% close rate. Obviously, it was 3, it'd be 30%. If it was 1, it'd be 10%. And if you look at that, then you have a good baseline to tell yourself, okay, here's where I'm at today, and how can I increase those results? How can I increase the number of people that when I meet with them end up becoming customers? And so the first thing that will help you double your close rate is to learn to balance both sides of your sales personality. And the way I like to explain this is, as entrepreneurs, we have to be aware of what's realistic, and we have to plan for the probable things, for the realistic outcomes. And that's one side of our sales personality, of us being a leader, is saying, you know what, I need to focus on getting enough reps in. I need to have enough sales calls. I need to present enough estimates to my prospective customers. I just need to make sure that I'm working the numbers, because if we focus on hitting the right numbers over time, that's where we're incrementally going to make progress. So that's the very realistic side, is that no matter what my close rate is, if I just keep showing up consistently, I keep creating new opportunities through my consistent branding. That's what's going to lead to effective sales opportunities. And I just need to be consistent in going through that process, because that over time is going to get results for me. So That's the first kind of attitude and mindset that before you go to a sales call, is to remind yourself that no matter what happens, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a positive sales call. It's going to be a great opportunity because it's going to allow you to put in the time and the practice that is ultimately going to lead to the right customers working with you. So that's your foundational belief. And that means every sales appointment you go on is a success because you're going to learn from it or you're going to close a new customer, right? There's really only two options there, but both are very positive. That's our foundational mindset that will help us keep going regardless of the outcomes day to day, regardless of the economy, regardless of how our prospective customers are behaving. It keeps us on track. The second mindset that you layer on top of that, and you manage these side by side, because it's going to sound like they're in conflict, but they're not. I'll explain why they're not, is to say, you know what, today's going to be a great day. I am expecting to close everybody I speak to today. Everybody I meet with, everybody I present an estimate to, I'm expecting that they're going to sign. And you balance both of those mindsets side by side because they're both true, and it depends on the scenario, right? Sometimes you're going to go out, give a flawless sales presentation, give a clear estimate, have the right pricing, and people are not going to be ready to buy it, and that's okay. Other times you're going to go out, and as long as you have that additional side-by-side mindset and attitude of like, I'm expecting to close everybody I talk to today that is a good fit for us, then you're prepared for that as well. So it's really about learning to manage kind of both sides of the equation and understanding that both beliefs are true and important. So with that mindset in place, there's some important tactical things that you can do that are going to help you increase sales and double your close rate, double the number of customers that you're able to serve. The first thing is make sure that you always confirm your appointments. So the day before, send a quick text, send an email, send a call, however you were originally communicating with that prospect. Say, just as a reminder, tomorrow I'm going to be there at 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever the time is that you have that sales call set up so you can give an estimate. Next thing is make sure that you leave 15 minutes early. I always recommend that to people, no matter how far close the appointment is, because that's going to give you time to hit traffic, or you have a quick call from a crew leader or something else comes up, you're ahead of the schedule, and that's going to allow you to be on time. So if you leave 15 minutes early and you end up getting there 15 minutes earlier, hang around the corner and pull in 5 minutes early. That's the perfect time to pull into a sales appointment. One, it shows your prospect that you respect their time, that you run a tight ship and you're serious about what you're doing, you're committed to your work, and they should show up that same way too. And then also it just puts you in the habit of being prepared and being proactive. If we end up running late, we start to break down trust that we don't need to break down. It can be a challenge when, a prospect thinks, oh, this is who I may want to work with. And then if you're 10 or 15 minutes late, 5 minutes is kind of the maximum window that I think is acceptable to show up somewhere. And that's still late to me. But if you show up right on time or within a few minutes, then you're not, causing distrust. And part of what we have to do on our sales calls is we have to make sure that we are breaking down the barriers of distrust and building a safe bridge that's going to help them feel like, yep, this is the process I want to take. I can trust this person. They said they were going to be here on time, and they were here on time. The next thing to keep in mind is to balance between having tons of detail in your estimate and having no information. Neither one is supportive of the sales process. So if you say, we're going to do your maintenance and here's the fee for the year, that's not enough detail. They're not going to trust that. If you list out literally every single step you take, it's going to be overwhelming and too much information. So a balance is what's key. You want to call out the main important points. You want to note anything that they brought up during the initial conversation that you had so that they understand you heard them and you're going to be able to take care of that. And you want to balance between, again, having no information to having too much information, and find that sweet spot that works for you and your prospects so that they get enough detail, but it's not overwhelming with too many details. Once you gather the information, first step on your sales call, walk around, see what's important to them, ask them why they're considering working with you, ask them if they've had a company in the past so you can uncover any frustrations or challenges that they did have with the past company. And then, ideally, I recommend that you, as long as it's not an extensive project where you need to make a bunch of phone calls, where you really need to study your numbers, if it's a clear-cut project and you've done these projects multiple times before, then I would encourage you to get all the details, have everything in hand that you need to prepare that estimate right then, and say, great, it's going to take me about 20 minutes or whatever is accurate. 15, 20 minutes is usually fine. I'm going to write this estimate out for you. I'll come knock on the door and we'll go through it together. Ideally, doing a one-call close is possible, but more importantly than closing them in one call is giving them full information in one shot. The reason for that is too many times people have any type of home service contractor come to their home, they give them all the details, and then they never hear back. They never get an estimate. It's not professional, doesn't solve the problem for the prospect. It obviously isn't going to help that company if that's how they operate. And so if you can do it in one shot, go ahead and do it. But if you can't for a more advanced project, or you have a bunch of appointments stacked, then this is really key what I'm going to say next. Do not leave the property until you have set up the follow-up phone call or the follow-up in-person appointment, so you can present your estimate. Because if you don't put that in the calendar for yourself and for your prospect, they're going to forget, or they're going to say, just email it over, and you won't have the opportunity to present conversationally, what you're preparing for the estimate, and you won't have the opportunity to go overcome any objections or questions or challenges that they have. And so by doing that, we set that next appointment. It's a fixed date. We know that we're going to review it with them. It should be as soon as they're free and you have enough time to prepare the estimate. That way you have the follow-up appointment set. Once that's done, same process again. You can text, call the day before, say, just reminding you, we have our appointment tomorrow at this time. Looking forward to presenting the estimate for you. Any other questions in the meantime, just reach out and let me know. And that way they're already thinking about you. They're already prepared for that appointment. Once you do that second appointment, if they haven't closed yet, then find out why. Do they have to talk to their spouse? Are they not ready to make a decision yet? Was it price? What things are preventing them from deciding right then? And then make note of those things and schedule another follow-up. Ideally, you keep scheduling a fixed follow-up date so that you're able to, check in and control that whole sales process instead of just leaving it to chance. And then once you have those follow-up dates in place, you can send texts, you can send emails, you can have a simple nurture process that's going to allow you to stay in touch with them and either move it all the way to closing where they're ready to sign and pay, or they're going to let you know that they're not ready or they're not interested. Whatever route you go is obviously dependent on the deal, but the key factors here are make sure you show up on time or a little bit early. It's always ideal. Make sure you are actively listening and taking notes, and you're then going to balance the difference between too much information and not enough information. You put together a good estimate, present it to them the same day if possible while you're right there. If not, set the next follow-up appointment and keep scheduling a fixed date and time for follow-ups so that you're able to control that process. And then remember just to nurture them through that. Communicate, check in every few days, keep that deal warm. And that's what's going to allow you to double your close rate by having a simple system like this. We have a documented process that we teach everyone in our mastermind. And so if you need any help with this, please reach out. You can go to landscapemarketinghero.com. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. If you're ready to begin your journey up the Green Mountain, where we show you how to build a low-stress, high-profit, $10 million per year landscaping company, then head over to landscapemarketinghero.com to download your free growth map. One of our guides will be there to help you along the way. Again, that's landscapemarketinghero.com.